reclined butterfly, you can bring your feet together, let your knees fall apart. And we're just gonna take 5 breaths here, just to get grounded, forgetting about the day you've had or anything else that's on your mind. And you can bring your hands to your belly, just so you make that connection with your breath. So feel the breath go all the way underneath your palms. And I find this pose is a really good way for me to check in and notice the areas that feel a little bit tighter than others. Take one more full deep breath here. And then lifting the knees back up, you're gonna pull your right knee into your belly and stretch your left leg to the ground. And really try to pull that right knee into your chest as much as possible as you extend and reach through your left leg, pushing into that left heel. Take a big breath here, and then carry that knee over into a twist. So right knee crosses over to the left, and you can reach your right arm out to the side. Use your left hand to help guide that right knee down a little bit more. Keep breathing even as you do this. And coming all the way back up to center, you're going to extend your leg straight up to the ceiling. Interlace your fingers behind the back of your hamstrings. And instead of focusing on pulling your leg into your belly, I want you to firm up the muscles and push your thigh into your palms and feel your palms resist against it. So this is not an action and emotion that we do often in yoga, but I can guarantee you working on strengthening your hamstrings is an amazing way to also increase the flexibility in the long run. So really push, 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 create that tension of opposites. Keep trying to pull your leg in towards your belly and feel your leg push back against it. Keep doing this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and now relax the leg and see if you can pull it in a couple inches closer. So creating that tension is one way that we can just increase our flexibility, and you might be able to lift the palms up a little higher. One more deep breath and release. Let's switch sides. So right leg straight, bring your left knee into your belly. Squeeze it in, push into your right heel. And getting a little into the hip flexors. And we'll carry this over into a twist. So your left knee crosses over the body to the right. Reach your left arm out. Try to pin that left shoulder blade on the mat so your collarbones are facing up. This is a spinal twist. So working full body flexibility in the spine and the shoulders and the low back and the hips and the hamstrings. We're trying to target it all with this flow. Bring it all the way back to center, straighten your left leg up. So without going super deep into this one, just interlace your fingers behind the back of your thigh and start to push and resist. Keep your right heel grounded on the mat. And if you've never done this before, it might feel a little strange. So your arms are trying to pull that leg in towards your chest and your leg is trying to resist against it and pushing into the fingers and into the palms. Keep doing this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax the leg and see if you can pull it in a little bit closer. And release, bend into the knees. Let's rock up and find your downward facing dog. So ground the palms to the mat, step your feet back. Hands are shoulder width distance apart, feet are hip width distance apart. So if the hamstrings are tight, you might need to bend your knees here and curl your tailbone up to the sky. Don't worry about it too much. You can paddle your feet. Think of lengthening your spine, lengthening through your arms. Reach your right leg up to the sky, bend your right knee, open up your hip. This is your 3-legged dog. Squeeze the glutes. See if you can get your right knee up even higher. And then step your right foot forward in between the palms. Let your back knee come down to the mat. Low lunge, stay on the fingertips, really push the hips forward and down, lifting up through the heart. As you exhale, straighten your right leg into your half splits, hamstring stretch. Pull the heart forward. Bend into your right knee, tuck the back toes under, lift your back knee off the mat, plant your left hand down, reach your right arm up, easy twist. Reaching the arms further away from each other. Right hand comes down, walk your palms to the left, turn both feet parallel to the shorter edges of the mat, and you're gonna bend into your right knee, come back up, and bend into the other. So just pulse side to side here. One leg will be straight, and the other one will be bent. Targeting through the inner groin, inner thighs. And then find some stillness, walk your hands back in line with the heels and fold. Bring your hands back out in front of you. You're gonna turn your heels in, toes out, bend your knees and come up. Placing your palms on the tops of your thighs, use your hands to push your knees open a little wider, and you can drop one shoulder down, the other one draws back, inhale, and exhale to switch. Once more on each side. Coming back to center, push into the legs, straighten them up, reach your arms all the way up, hands come down to the front of the heart, look to the top of the mat and step your way up. Inhale, arms rise, palms come together. Exhale, fold forward and down. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, just step back, downward facing dog. From this down dog, reach your left leg up to the sky, bend your left knee, open up your hips, squeeze into the glutes. Try to lift that left knee up even higher. And then step it forward, low lunge, back knee comes down to the floor. Come up high onto the fingertips, draw your shoulders down and away from your ears. Let the pelvis be heavy. Half splits, straighten your left leg, push down into that left heel, drag it back. Bend into that left knee, tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee off the mat, right hand down, left arm up, easy twist. Push down deep into that left big toe so you're not rolling to the outer edge of your foot. And then left hand comes down, walk your palms to the right side of your mat, turn both feet parallel to the shorter edges, and just pulse side to side, just like we did before. One knee bends, the other is straight. And then with both legs straight, you can find your wide-legged forward fold. Walking the hands further back, reaching the crown of the head towards the floor. And try not to let all of your weight go back into the heels. Keep some of it forward into the balls of the feet. Walk your hands out in front of you. Turn your heels in, toes out, bend your knees, and place your hands on the tops of your thighs. Just like before, drop one shoulder down, roll the other back. Use your hands to push your knees open a little more. Switching sides. And again. And last one, dropping the shoulder down. Push into the feet, straighten the legs, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands at the heart. Looking forward to the top of the mat, step your way up, and let's take our flow. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, downward facing dog. And now from this downward dog, come forward into your plank pose and keep your toes curled under. Just let your hips sink down, pull your heart forward. Draw your shoulder blades behind you, so a variation of upward dog. And then exhale, come all the way back, downward facing dog. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, keep the toes curled under. Back bend, pull the heart forward. And then bend your elbows, let your hips come down to the mat. You're gonna bring your fingertips off, kind of at a 45-degree angle, more towards the top corners of your mat and wider. Like spider fingers, you're gonna push the fingers into the ground to lift up. So a deeper back bend, you control how deep you go into this one. Push your pubic bone into the floor. And exhale, release. Let's press back to a wide-legged child's pose. Big toes together, knees as wide as you would like them. The wider they are, the deeper the stretch. Extend your arms forward and fold. Low back. And trying to get your inhale to be just as long as your exhale, so we're not favoring one over the other. Two more very deep breaths here. And we'll make our way to a tabletop pose just for a few rounds of cat and cow. I like to do cat and cow before sun salutations as a way to warm up your spine. So hands under your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. As you inhale, drop your belly, curl tailbone up. And on the exhale, round your spine, drop your chin to your chest, and really spread your fingertips wide. About 2 or 3 more times here, just flowing with your breath. Inhaling to back bend. Exhaling to contract. Squeezing your shoulder blades as you lift the heart up. Exhale, shoulder blades move further apart. Take your last one here. Inhale. And exhale. Let's find our first downward facing dog. So usually from tabletop, I like to bring my hands a couple inches past the shoulders before tucking the toes under and lifting the hips up and back. So if the hamstrings are tight, you can bend your knees, maybe sway a little bit side to side. Do any little movements or adjustments here that feel good. Notice where there is tension in the body. And it's very tempting to let all of your body weight sink and dump into the wrists. As much as possible, try to push down into your fingertips and knuckles, so you're taking some of that weight out of the wrists. Curl your tailbone up to the sky, draw your low belly in, and then walk your feet to the top of the mat with bent knees. Find your ragdoll fold. So you can hold on to the elbows here. And this is really not about having super straight legs. In fact, we want our knees bent. It's more about decompressing the spine than it is about stretching the hamstrings. Maybe shake out the head a few times so there's no tension in the jaw, no tension in the neck. And release your fingertips down to the floor. Bend your knees even more and push into your heels to roll up, inch by inch, until you're standing at the top of the mat. So we'll start with a few rounds of half sun salutations just to warm up. As you inhale, reach your arms up overhead, hands come together to touch. And then exhale, hinge forward at the hips, maybe bend your knees if you need to here as you fold. Halfway lift, fingertips on your shins, lift up to a flat back. Exhale, fold once more, maybe the knees bend. Push into the feet, come all the way up, lead with your heart, so flat back lifts you up. Exhale, hands to the front of the heart. 2 more like this. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, dive forward and down. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Push into the feet, come up, inhale. Exhale, hands at the heart. Last one with your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way. Exhale, hands at the heart. Our full sun salutation A now. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, dive down. Halfway lift, maybe keep your fingertips on the ground here. And this time, exhale, plant your palms and step the feet back to your high plank pose. Big breath in here, strong through your core. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Point your toes back, roll the shoulders back. Inhale to your cobra. Exhale to lower, downward facing dog. Take 1 full deep breath in your down dog, stretch it nice and long. And at the end of your exhale, look forward and step your feet to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, flat back, inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale, press to stand, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands at the heart. Twice more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, plank pose. Inhale to hold. Exhale, chaturanga, maybe hover it halfway this time. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to hold. And at the end of your exhale, you can step or hop your feet forward in between the palms. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Come all the way up. Exhale, hands at the heart. Our last round here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive down. Halfway lift. If you'd like, you can hop back, chaturanga. Inhale to your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold for the inhale. And on the exhale, look forward, step or hop. Make your way to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press to stand, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands at the heart. Okay, sun salutations B. As you inhale, bend your knees, reach your arms up, chair pose. Exhale, dive and fold forward. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, vinyasa. So you can step to plank or you can do your hop to chaturanga. Just find your flow. Lowering the push-up, finding a back bend. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot between your palms, back foot at a 45-degree angle, warrior one. Big breath in here. Exhale, hands down. With that same exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward, warrior one on the second side. Palms come together to touch, look up. Exhale, chaturanga. You should feel the heat building. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, downward dog. Take a full breath in your down dog. On the exhale, step or hop your feet to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale to fold. Bend your knees, drop your hips, chair pose. Press to stand, release your hands down. Last one here. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, dive down. Halfway lift, flat back. Chaturanga, take your flow. We all meet in our downward facing dog. And this time, left foot steps forward, warrior one, back heel is grounded down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, vinyasa, plank to chaturanga, to upward dog, to downward dog. Right foot steps forward, back heel grounds down. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, your last vinyasa, you got this. Inhale up. Exhale, down dog. Take one full breath in your down dog. Stretch into the heels. Exhale, hop forward. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. Sink down low. Push into the heels. Straighten the arms and bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes. So feel into your breath. Notice your heart rate. It's probably beating a little bit faster. It really doesn't take too many sun salutations to start to feel the effects of this powerful form of movement. And just to wind things down a little bit, you can bring your hands on your hips and open up into a wide-legged stance with both feet parallel to the shorter edges of your mat. Take an inhale to lift and lengthen, and exhale, dive forward and down. You can bring your hands wherever is comfortable for you here. Maybe shaking out the head. And walking your fingertips out in front of you, lift the chin and the chest up halfway, and bend your knees a little bit and just toe heel your feet. So they're just a tiny bit wider than your hips. Heels in, toes out. Lower down into Malasana, your yogi squat. You can bring your hands to your heart and use your elbows to push the knees open a little wider. Lengthen your spine here. Try to slow down your breath, to slow down your heart rate. And set your hips down on the mat. Take a seat. And sitting up nice and tall, you can bring your right hand to your left knee, left fingertips behind you. Take a little twist. So keep your hips facing forward, just rotate through your spine. Exhale to release, switch sides. Left hand to your right knee, right fingertips behind you. Open up through the heart. Notice if you're slouching or rounding forward, lengthen up instead. Release back to center. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder, stretching through the right side of your neck. And I like to bring the left hand to the top of the head just to pull the ear further away from that shoulder. Keep pressing it down. And if you'd like to go even further, you can crawl your right fingertips out to the side. And just take 3 to 5 breaths here. Softening your jaw. Letting the head be heavy. And connecting to your breath. One more deep breath. And release, lift the head back to center. Let's switch sides. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. You can use your right hand to pull the ear further away from the shoulder. Crawl the left fingertips out. Sitting up tall through your spine. Start to ask yourself what kind of day you want to have. What are you looking forward to today? Take one more big deep breath. And cradle the head, lift it all the way back up. And let's come into a tabletop pose on hands and knees. Spread your fingertips wide, middle and index fingers pointing to the top of the mat. Knees underneath your hips, a few rounds of cat and cow. As you inhale, drop your belly. Curl, tailbone up, lift the gaze. Exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. 3 more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lift. And exhale, spread the shoulder blades away, push into the fingers. Last one. And coming back into your neutral tabletop pose, extend your right leg out to the side so your ankle, your knee, and your hip are all in one line. You're gonna reach your left arm all the way up to the sky, twist, and then exhale, thread your left arm underneath you and bring your shoulder and your ear to the floor. So if it's within grabbing distance, you can catch a hold of your big right toe with your 2 peace fingers. The right hand can push into the floor, or you can bring your right hand to rest on your low back. So this is thread the needle, but with a gate pose variation. Try to relax your neck. One of my favorite things to do first thing in the morning. And bring your right hand back down to the floor if it was behind your low back. Release the hold of the toes, push into that right hand, come all the way back up. And before we go and do this on the other side, you're gonna lift your right leg and you're gonna cross your right foot all the way over as far to the left as you can. Start to look over your left shoulder and push into your right hip. So just taking a lateral stretch, a side body stretch. Coming back to center, step your right foot forward to the outer edge of your right hand to the top of the mat. So both palms are to the inside of that leg. You can pad your left knee here if you'd like, if this is feeling a little sensitive. You can put some blocks underneath your palms as well. Just think of lifting the heart up, dropping the hips down. Getting into the hips, a great way to start off the day. And tuck the back toes under, lift your back knee off the mat. Keep your left hand planted to the floor, reach your right arm up. Inhale into your easy twist. Looking up only if that's comfortable. And right hand down to the floor. Find your first downward facing dog. And first thing in the morning, it might feel better to have your feet quite wide in your down dog as opposed to having them hip width distance apart. And just paddle the feet, bending one leg and straightening the other, drawing the low belly into the low back, shaking out the head. Just getting rid of the kinks here that we have. Deep breaths in and out through your nose. And let's bring the knees back down to the ground. Tabletop pose onto your hands and knees. Let's find our thread the needle gate pose on the other side. So extend your left leg out to the side. You want to align your hip, your knee, and your ankle in that one line. Ground all four corners of your left foot to the floor. Open to a twist, right arm up. And thread it under. Right shoulder to the floor, right ear to the ground. And you can come up onto your left fingertips. If it's accessible, your right fingertips can loop onto your left big toe, and you can bring your left hand to your low back. So nice spinal rotation. One more big belly breath, opening through the chest. Left hand can come back down to the floor, release the toe, lift yourself back up. And before we go into that lunging pose or lizard pose, you can lift that left foot and cross it, bring it all the way over to the right. Look over your right shoulder towards that left foot and push into your left hip. So a nice side body stretch. Coming back to center, step your left foot forward to the top of the mat, to the outer edge of that left hand. So you want your knee to be aligned over the top of the ankle, lifting the head up, pressing the hips forward and down. Get that nice deep stretch through the right hip flexors, maybe into the right quads. And we'll curl the back toes under, lift the back knee off the mat, ground your right hand and right palm to the floor, reach your left arm up. Push into that big left toe so that you're not rolling to the outer edge of your left foot. Inhale. Downward facing dog, left hand down, step the left foot back. Then again, just paddle the feet here, bending one knee, straightening the other leg. Shaking out the head. And let's walk our hands to the back of the mat for a ragdoll fold. So knees bent generously, and you can let your belly rest over your thighs, holding onto the elbows and just swaying a little side to side. So I generally find that first thing in the morning, my hamstrings are super tight. So don't try to lock your knees, keep them generously bent. Fingertips down to the floor. Bring your heels in, toes out. Bend your knees, drop your hips, yogi squat, malasana. Hands at the heart, use the elbows to push the knees open a little wider. Sit up nice and tall. Setting your intention for the day ahead. And release your palms to the mat. You're going to walk it forward into a plank pose. Strong through your core. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Inhale. Exhale, lower to your belly. From here, slide your forearms out in front of you. Take a little sphinx pose, pointing the toes back. So stretching into the spine. This is also a really great way to start your day. Push the head of the arm bones back. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. Lift up a little higher. Big breath into the heart. Exhale to release. Let's press to a wide-legged child's pose. Big toes together. Knees as far as you would like them to be. As wide as you would like them to be. Walk your hands forward and fold down. 5 deep breaths in this child's pose. And walk the hands in. Lift the chest, bring your knees back together. And just take a comfortable seat, either kneeling or seated. And close your eyes. Notice how you feel now as opposed to when you first stepped onto your mat this morning. And it's amazing how just a little bit of yoga can do such a big difference. And with this space of clarity, set your intention for the rest of your day. Bringing the hands together at the front of the heart. Bowing forward, namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for doing this quick morning stretch sequence with me. I hope you feel loosened up and ready to tackle the day ahead. Please do subscribe to my channel. I put out new classes all the time, pretty much. And it's a great way to support free yoga on the internet. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.